Greetings UPA7, this is Brother Mikkel from UPA7 South Africa. Welcome to our printing tutorial. Today we're going to go through the steps required to get some of our tracks that we publish. We're going to show you how to print, fold, staple and cut the various tracks. So we'll give some examples and things that we've learned over time. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy this time together. Alright, so step number one, before we touch anything, before we get down to business, the very first thing that we should do is to come into our dedicated room and pray and ask God to lead in His work. We also have a clean environment where, we use some sort of cleaner. We use paraffin here at our publishing house, where we clean the tabletops and just make sure all the surfaces are clean. So we'll take you through that as well. You also need a laptop that is going to host the printers. Preferably the laptop is to be disconnected from the internet. You don't want viruses or hackers or any sort of things to come onto this. It should be a machine that's purely dedicated. So the machine is dedicated, plus the printer is dedicated. You can see that all these things are covered with a cloth. We keep everything covered. Let me show you. We have this section here as well, where we actually do the printing and the folding, I should say. So everything is covered when we get in. So we start off with the laptop. Oops. So we start off with the laptop and hosts the files, and then we have our big printer. This is the BizHub. It does 47 pages per minute, collated, so that it prints on both sides. And this is a type of machine that you want if you're going to be printing a lot, and we hope you will be printing a lot. Let us get into printing our first one of the tracks. Okay, so for today's tutorial we'll print track number 10 because it's not so big, and it will just be easier to show you just a small track. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll load our printer. Let me turn this a little bit. I'll load our printer with some, and obviously each printer is different, so you're going to have different ways to load your paper in your printer. This one can be switched on here, and then we come here to the print files, and so the printing is pretty much the same for most of the tracks. There are some tracks that require a little bit of different handling, but alright, so on this computer, the PDF, this is a PDF version of the document. It's currently opening up with Internet Explorer, but you might have yours open up with Adobe Acrobat. Let's maybe take you through some of the print settings. Opening up Start and just typing PRI, and it'll find the printer settings. And then we can just go and find our printer, which is currently offline. It's not switched on. Then you can go to printer properties and printing preferences, and I'll just show you some options. We are printing on portrait, and our paper size is A4, and we print double-sided. So that's some of the settings, but we could always get into those when you are setting up your printer. We can always have a look and see those settings. Alright, so we're doing the Signs of Jonah track number 10. So I've opened up the tract in, this is using Internet Explorer as the PDF reader. If you press Ctrl P, it will bring up the print dialog box. And our settings are Okay, we want to print all pages. It prints on portrait. We can go to more settings, and this one says print on 2 sides, flip on long edge. So there's all of these other settings as well, print and flip on short edge, but we don't want that. We want flip on long edge, and we want our collation to be collated. Ish, what did it do now? This mouse isn't behaving itself very well. Let's just go back there. So you see the collation says collated, pages per sheet 1. That's fine. Alrighty, so now we're just going to print 1 copy. Usually you would print 30, 50 copies and generate quite a bit, but this is just a demo, so we're just going to print 1 copy. Alright, even though I didn't click it, it's going to go through. Something wrong with that mouse. Alright, let me just zoom back a little bit here. This is how our printer is going to kick in a second as it gets the job from the machine. Actually, I can just show you on the machine side. Maybe I can show you that in the corner here. Yeah, that's the little print icon. That's telling you that something has been sent to the printer. Alrighty, so now we're printing. Alrighty, that is now complete. So now we have, this is 1 tract, and now I'm going to show you how we're going to fold this. I'm going to get the cleaning stuff out and show you. So here we've got our 1 tracts that we are going to fold. Okay, so now we come to our folding table, and we'll just not undo the whole thing. So we just have some simple kitchen towel, and we have methylated spirits, and we just take it through here. Okay, now that the surface is clean, I'm bringing the track that we've just printed, and we're going to fold it here on the table. So we're going to start with the front page side. So the front page is obviously the sign of Jonah. I'm going to take this first page, and I'm going to show you how to fold it. So you fold it like this first in half, and then we just want to make sure that we are folding it nicely on the straight edges. You want to fold it nicely. So once you've got this, then you fold it in half again, and that's the start of the cover of the book. And you're going to systematically do that for each page. So that's how you start your book. Okay. Then you take the next page, and it's obviously all printed in a sequence, right? So here's the page, and you're going to do it exactly like I showed you there. So you're going to take this page and you're going to fold it in half. And then taking this number, you see page number 5 here, you're going to fold it in half again. The first time I did this, it was quite difficult. And then you're going to put this second page into here. So here we're going to fold this. This is the cover. We're going to fold the page in half like this. This one has already been folded, so it's a little bit easy. And then we're going to fold it again like that. And that's how we fold all of our pages. So to show you again, the page starts off like this. All pages will start like that. And then you fold it in half. And you fold it in half again. And that's how you'll start. And then you just keep on folding the pages and putting them in like I showed you before. With our next page, which is number 5, again we'll just fold it in half. And then we'll fold it in half again. And we'll take our book and we'll just open it up to the middle and we'll just put that in there. And that's how you're going to start getting pages. You can see it starts to run in a sequence. 4, 5, you should see 6 over there, 7, and so forth, 8. So you know it's going in a sequence. Then you're going to start seeing that it starts to make a little booklet. There's page 4 and there's the newly folded page 5, and if we open it up, there's page 6, there's page 7, page 8, and so forth. And we're just going to keep on doing this until our track book is finished. So I chose a book that wasn't too big. Alrighty. And then you just put this newly folded one in there, and then you see from page 8 it goes to page 9. So you're always just keep on making sure that you've got a proper sequence. Sometimes these pages could get jumbled up and it can be a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to fold a few pages at once here. Once you get a bit advanced on doing these things, you can do multiple pages. So I'm just going to save time by doing that. Alrighty. If you're doing multiple pages, then what you do is you just take each one of these out and just take the one that comes out, you just put it into the next one and you keep on going down that sequence. You just need a bit of practice to learn that one. But here I've put them in here. So now we've got 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 20, 21. So now we've got our tract book. And this is what it looks like. A sign of Jonah, and there's one track. So now we're going to staple and cut. And that's pretty much your one book done. It looks easy enough. But it does take a bit of practice and getting used to. So let us move on to the next stage. Okay, so now we have folded our one track, and now we need this heavy duty stapling machine, and this will do the job. So now we open up the tract and we make sure that it's that it's not overlapping. The edges are pretty much tight together. And then what I normally do is I take the back of the book and I just fold it in a little bit so that we can get it into our stapling machine. Otherwise the pages are too long. If I stand here and then we're going to just staple this. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the staples in the seam or the crease of the folds, and there's our second staple there, and the staple has come on the spine. Sometimes it's a bit off aligned, but we try for the most part to put it into the middle there. Now that we've bound it now that we've stapled it, our last thing that we need to do is just cut. We're just going to cut it. Okay, welcome. This is our last part. We're going to cut. So the tracks are marked with trim marks, so it does give you a bit of a guideline where you can trim and where you can trim here on the top edge here. So we have a heavy duty guillotine that does the trimming for us. This is I don't know what you call it, but it's the thing that holds the paper in place, or holds the tract in place. So we're gonna just pop it in there. Put that up high enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the I don't even know what you call this thing. But we're going to bring it down to a point where it's secure, so it doesn't move that much. Because when you are bringing the guillotine down, it sometimes can move this tract slightly off center, and then you get a skew cut. So for the most part, we try and keep that straight, and you can even hold it. And then you just do that, and you've basically cut off the top, the side edge. And then we'll just lift this again and bring that down and cut the top. So what we've done is we've cut the top here and we've cut the side here, and the blade's a little blunt, so it actually this blade needs to be sharpened because it's not doing crisp, clear lines. But basically there's your tract, so some of the tracks the writing starts right at the top here, so you've got to shave off just a smidge. But this one is one of those ones that you can shave off quite a bit. You can see that it's actually a little bit skew here, so I can actually put this guy back in here and just try and cut that a little bit more straight. Yeah. Move this out of the way. It's getting a bit better. I definitely need to get a new blade, but basically that is then your tract done, and you can go on to the next one. So usually we, like I said, print about 30 copies, 50 copies, and then we fold them. The most of the time is done at the folding station. So if you've got a lot of people, then you can do a lot of folding. Once your folding is done and it's in a raw book, then the stapling takes fairly easy, fairly straightforward, quick to do. And this piece is also fairly quick, so you can churn through a lot, especially if you've got a few hands on deck. So that brings us to the end of a basic. This is just a standard track, and most of the tracks are like this. We'll bring like a symbolic code tutorial as well, but for now that's just a basic tract printing guide. I hope you have learned, and I hope you can be able to do this on your own. God bless. Last thing we do, we have a stamp called UPA7. We just got our contact details on there, so our telephone number and website address, or email address and website.